many years ago when my father was a chief minister, and he was the chief minister for a very long time.
Yes.
And this is between two stints of him. He was a CM, then he resigned, and then he came back as a CM for another stint of 4.5 years. So in between, he told us that wherever you are, this is a space that is not permanent. This is not yours. This is an honor. It's a temporary space to serve. You serve, and then you make place for people for the next person to come in. When me and Genelia, we both met each other. She was all of 18. I was probably 24, 25, and there's certain new energy that two young people meet. Then 10 years later, we got married. So being together was a new thing for us. Then we had kids, we had new experiences. जो भी बोलते हैं तुम तो वैसे नहीं थे जैसे तुम मुझे मिले थे। नहीं वो तो चला गया ना, उसको 10 साल हो गए। मैं वो नहीं हूँ जो 10 साल पहले था, मैं अलग हूँ, आप अलग है। Now I have to fall in love with the person that you are today and take this ahead for a few more years. So it's a process, and it's a beautiful process. Keep falling in love again and again and again. Many of us make mistakes where we want to make it part of our lives. No. They have their own life. They have their social life. They have to play sports, whatever. You have to stand there with every Sunday, every weekend, even this morning, 8 o'clock, Genelia and me with an umbrella, with 2 water bottles, we were sitting and watching the football match. Because that is what they have to do. So we have to be part of their lives. People have gone out of their way to be with me. And there are classic examples, right from Salman himself, right from my first film, Lay Bhari, to wait when I was launching my new product, Imagine Me. Shah Rukh was there to launch it.
Many years ago, actually, almost this is 2015, and a lot of people actually tell me आज के ज़माने में रिश्ते नहीं टिकते, and nobody believes in the virtue of relationships. Let me speak about this one incident about this man sitting with me. It was 2015, and my father was actually almost diagnosed that he would have to go through a bypass. I knew nobody. It was just 1 year of me in the industry, and I knew this one person who told me, if you need anything, whether it's doctors, whether it's any help, I'm just a phone call away. And that's Riteish Deshmukh for you. And then joining me with Riteish is a storyteller. I don't know, sir, if you remember, but I met you as a child when I was 17.
Who was the child?
I was the child.
Let's be clear, na? वो तो बचपन की कहानी में चल गया, मैं बच्चा था तब कब मिला था?
In Kolkata, he had come for No One Killed Jessica. And I had met him, and it was a very nice press conference where we had all met. I was only 17.
Children allowed in the press conference?
I was 19, 17.
You said 17.
No, I was 18 actually. 2010, end May you came. 2011, I think the movie released. 18. I just counted 18. I was gonna be 19, but
नाबालिग नहीं थे आप?
नाबालिग तो नहीं था. Joining me in this episode, on this episode of Nayansense are two prolific director-actor duo. Thank you so much for doing this. Raid is coming out.
You know me, of course we know.
I knew. Oh shit.
को नहीं पता तो तुमको कैसे पता होगा?
No, I meant like Raid is coming out. Raid was a really loved movie. Why did it take you so many years actually to come up with a part 2? I know you love storytelling and you would only go when it is ready, but what took you so long?
We never intended, when we made first Raid. We didn't know. We were all scared, as with every film, whether this story or this film will work or not. It worked, and it was loved by the audience. But we also never thought, at that point also, we never thought that whether we will make a part 2 of this. Then it took some time for a story to come, and when that story came, it took almost 3-4 years. We thought it was worth trying it. Then we wrote the screenplay, and then we realized we have a good script, and that's when we took it to Ajay sir, and he loved the script. And then when because the antagonist is always, apart from the protagonist, the antagonist is the world of Raid. So that's when we realized that we need a very strong actor as well as star to play this character, and that's when I approached Riteish because I had worked with him. I've been seeing his work. He's a fabulous actor, and I approached him, and we had done something together. So I had him in mind. If I get an opportunity to work with him again, I would like to collaborate with him again. And then when this came in, I went and narrated it to him, me and my producer, and he also loved the script and had the same vision, same thing that I was thinking about the character, and that's when he said, let's do it together. And that's after that we build the character together. So what you see in the film is the character that we have worked.
I was actually going to say perfect casting because of course he's a fantastic actor, but he's also annoying also, na? Beyond a point. But today you didn't annoy me, so I didn't want to say that.
No, of course. Wait.
Annoying? What do you mean by annoying? Matlab, of a character.
He has literally like staged a walkout and played a prank on me in one of my interviews, and initially I thought he's pranking only, so I waited, okay, he's pranking. He didn't turn up for the next 2-3 minutes, and he's actually ishara mein mere camera team ko bol diya tha, and then he's literally like fooled me like that. He is.
It doesn't take much.
Shut up.
Let's be honest. It doesn't take much to
Fool me.
I didn't say that.
Thanks. But when I speak about you as a person, you have immense goodwill in the industry among people. It's not just in the industry. I think the media also collectively has immense goodwill for you, towards you. They feel for you. They really love you. As an actor, as a human being, you come from a place where you could easily be a lot more entitled. How do you keep that away? Like, how do you manage to not be entitled at all? I wanted to ask you this question for a really, really long time. I'm going to ask it today.
Well, I don't know. And I remember many years ago when my father was the chief minister, and he was the chief minister for a very long time.
Yes.
And this was between two stints of him. He was a CM, then he resigned, and then he came back as a CM for another stint of 4.5 years. So in between, he told us that wherever you are, this is a space that is not permanent. This is not yours. This is an honor. It's a temporary space to serve. You serve, and then you make place for for the next person to come in. There were people here before you. There will be people here after you. What you do within that time is what will be remembered. And hence, at an early age, we three brothers realized that whatever you're worth, you have to build it by yourself. You cannot live on the glory of your father or whatever. And irrespective, I think love and respect is something that because of my father, people have showered upon me, and I've been extremely honored to receive that. But as much as I receive it, I respect it, I value it.
And you also give back a lot of...
I try my best to give it back. But I think each to his own. There are people who love stardom, love the fact that there should be a certain entitlement that should come along with it when they go out or whatever. And I'm no one to judge them. That's their comfort zone. So be it. That's not my comfort zone.
When you play a minister here, you've seen that very closely in life, right? From the time you were like really young, but you've seen a very different version of that minister, because today you ask anybody, okay, even opposition parties have always said that your father was a really noble man and he only devoted his entire life to the well-being of people. You've seen that side, right? And you're playing a completely different character, which is like a little villainous, which is a little manipulative. I know you're a great actor, but how do you look at politics then? Like, how do you look at the whole idea of politics?
See, all I'm saying is that when you look at politics in general, there will be certain characters who would be absolute grey shade politicians, pretending to be something, being someone else, and you read in the media, you figure out who's what. But But this character is completely different from anyone around me or what I have seen.
True. True.
Because he's young, he's self-made. At the age of 45, he is who he is. He's not a second-gen politician. He's a first-generation guy. He's made it himself. He starts from an extremely humble background. Because of an incident, he becomes who he is. Lives pristine, clean, and loved by people. It's not like he's hated.
Yeah.
He doesn't win people over by might. He wins them over by love, and that is his power. So there were a lot of threads that Raj sir said. There were a lot of questions that we discussed and answered, and we came about how he will be. But yes, things about what a mass leader would be, how he would walk, how if there is a officer who comes to a minister's office or his residence, what was his demeanor be? Office demeanor is different from the residence demeanor. His demeanor in public with an officer will be different than a close space with the officer. So all these things were something that I've seen very closely, and I tried to get those things and imbibe in this character.
What about you, sir? When we talk about today's movies, a lot of people are saying that writing kharab hai. Ek to cinema is not meant to be divisive, but it is used as a divisive medium today. For the longest time, we've said that Hindi films are superior than all other regional films. Today, when regional films are doing well, so we say that Hindi films ka band baj gaya hai, and then there are only South films that are doing well. How do you see and look at it objectively as a storyteller? Do you feel like these things should stop eventually, the comparisons, and everybody should collectively call it one industry? We are all asking for it, but it's not happening.
Yeah, I think I never look at it from the point of view of being a South film or a Bollywood film, or good films are good films. It can be from South, it can be from North, it can be from anywhere. We watch Hollywood films, so I don't see it from that point of view. As I was saying in my last interview, that one of the filmmakers who has inspired me the most has been Ram Gopal Verma. He showed us, rather a lot of generation of filmmakers, that films can be made in the way that he has made. So it's not, I don't see it that way, and it should stop, because there are South films which has, people say their films are working, Bollywood films are not working, but South films, we talk about the films that have worked there.
Yeah.
But there are 10 films which has not worked there.
True.
But even 2 films don't work here, people start pointing out. So I think that's not the right way, and saying that this is superior, that is superior is wrong. I think we should take inspiration from each other. We should admire good things that they are doing, which we have, and they should admire good thing that Bollywood is doing. A lot of times they say that that we should learn what they have been doing, but I mean a lot of the films that they are talking about and giving an example, they have been inspired by Salim Javed's cinema.
True.
So I think it should stop. I think as a filmmaker, I will take inspirations from South filmmakers or filmmakers whom I admire. It should be, we should all come as one industry. They should work here, we should work there. We should all come as one industry and appreciate each other's good work.
Yeah.
And point out something which has not worked. That's fine.
What about you? Because I remember we had gone to watch Fasta Fine at the screening, and we really, really enjoyed it, loved it. You always tried to push that envelope for regional films, because unfortunately today is the time when regional films have that market also. एक point ऐसा था 10 साल पहले भी इतनी बड़ी market नहीं थी. और me being a Bengali, I still feel like even when we talk about pan-Indian movies today, would you agree that, like Mohanlal sir, that day we were talking and he said that pan-India is a term which is still being used only for Hindi films and Telugu films, and the other regional films are still not being completely a part of the pan-India culture. Do you agree?
No, it is true. It is true. Pan-India is a term that, it's written that pan-India means all over India film should succeed. And not every language, see, more than language, right, it's the attitude of the film that is moving.
Yeah.
So language agnostic, because if in Maharashtra and North, if anyone's watching a Telugu film or Tamil film, they are watching dubbed versions. So they're watching Hindi versions of what they are making, right? So it's not, for them, it wouldn't matter if it comes from Tamil, Kannada, Telugu, whatever, or Marathi for that matter, as long as the emotions that the film is giving them is resonating with them in the language they're used to.
Yeah.
So that is very important, and I completely agree that, you know, this case, we are better than them, or we are inspired by them. We aren't making as good cinema as they are. Or this we and they, the divide, is something that is going to harm us and is harming us. We are creating this divide. Rightfully, you said why we should stop addressing this as 2 industries or 3 industries or 4 industries, or how do you bridge this divide? You know, if media stops addressing it, it's done. The comparison is not raised by filmmakers.
I agree.
The comparison is raised by media, then post questions for us to answer, then we will answer, then it will duplicate into 4 other things. So if you do not address it, it's not there. And rightfully, like Raj sir said, let us get inspired from cinema within India, outside, because we are here to entertain people. When people go to the theatres to watch a movie, it should be their money's worth, irrespective from which language, that they have really worked hard to earn that money. They want to have a great time with their family. They are spending money to have popcorn. They are sitting in their seats. Now they want to be entertained. If we are not able to give, someone else is going to give that entertainment.
Yeah.
They are there. So now we have to figure out, and we, as in I'm talking about the entire India, we have to figure out how we are going to give them that, and what kind of films will they like. And if it's coming from Telugu, Tamil, Marathi, Hindi, so be it. Will a Marathi industry be upset that Astri 2 has come from Hindi or some? No, we have to figure out what we want to make, or Bengali has to figure out, for them Hindi, every other Hindi. And rightfully, like he said, that be it Telugu, Tamil or Kannada or Malayalam, Marathi, every industry will have certain success stories that will be discussed, but many films that won't work.
Yeah.
The success ratio in this entertainment industry is maximum 8%, 6%. 94% films don't work at the box office.
But when you talk about success ratios, whenever you have done a Marathi film, you have a 100% track record. And then you're making a film which is your most ambitious film till date, right? And it's taken 10 years for you to put it together, 9 years actually, to put it together. Did you face any setbacks, challenges while all this was happening? Despite being such a big Hindi actor, Hindi star, did you face challenges? Fine.
Of course, there are certain dynamics that we face while making a film on. See, when you make a historical film on the most revered person in Maharashtra and India, Chatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, there are various other challenges that are there. The scale of the film is something much bigger than what usually we see, or the films are made in Marathi at a much bigger scale. Those are different challenges, and I'm sure there'll be some other time to speak about those challenges and other stuff. But all I'm saying is that as an industry, we are here to make films to entertain people, and yes, the onus is on us to make better cinema. And the basic foundation of a good cinema is what is written. Written material is something that, if, for example, he's made Raid, now he's made Raid 2, and it's a wonderful film that he has made, and I'm sure people will really enjoy. But if again 10 people half-heartedly jump into the same subject or similar thing, then it's going to be gone out, because you need to really, I'm saying someone else making a film on Raid with a different take will also work, as long as it's made with the complete heart, study and everything.
Yes. But you've lived with that project, and I know how passionate you have been for that. Factually, you have to be so correct in today's times, because everything can be taken out of context. Like, how are you managing? Do you still find that pressure when you're making a film on Chatrapati Shivaji Maharaj ji?
No, it is. No, and we'll do another interview on this subject. We'll stick to Raid today.
Okay, done. But you know, I also want to ask you that at the trailer launch, somebody asked Ajay sir that इसमें heroine बदल गई है, and he gave a very funny answer. Like in Bond में the Bond hero changes. Did you think of continuing with Ileana, because I think she's taken the maternity break from films, but did you reach out to her? What was the whole thing?
I think circumstances were such that I think now let's say one is there, and let's continue with that but there is no negativity that
Absolutely.
I can surely say.
We started off with the value of relationships that you have in the industry today. Riteish, you've been there for everybody. Whether you are friends with them or you just know them, you've always been there. I hope you've seen that recently Salman sir said something which has gone really viral, where he said that everybody thinks that I do it for, he was asked a question, that's why you post for everybody's movies, but everybody doesn't do it when your movies come out. He said that maybe they think that I don't need it, right? And that struck a chord with people. Did you ever feel that way? Because you've stood for, did you, honestly, as a human being, not as a professional, not as an actor, not like कि वो मेरे movie को क्यों support नहीं किया, but did you ever feel that why are people, as a human, that why are people not there so much for me when I am there for them so much?
For me?
Yeah.
Not at all. I think people have gone out of their way to be with me. And there are classic examples, right from Salman Bhau himself, right from my first film, Lay Bhari, to wait when I was launching my new product, Imagine Me, Shah Rukh was there to launch it. So, you know, see, these are relationships that are there, and people have been gone there and have gone out of the way to be for me personally. So I've never had that feeling. I know Abhishek Bachchan is just a phone call away for anything. And likewise, you know, just a phone call and we are there. So, and maybe he is, maybe he was right saying that, you know, he's always, like, he'll call me, Salman Khan, and Salman Bhau will call me and says, send me a trailer right now. And I say, well, now I'm going to post it. So he will make sure he wants to do it for you. So, and that's the kind of relationship person that he is.
Yeah.
It is beyond him to ask for anything. Then that's what he sticks by. And as people, we always go out for people who have stood with us, and also for people who have not stood, who think that it might help. Fair enough, let's do it, no problem.
Yeah, that's true. That's been you. You were planning a film with Salman sir. Is that happening? Can we see you at least doing something with him?
I wish he does a film with him.
I also wish.
Yeah, because he's a wonderful director and he's a wonderful actor. Yeah. It'll be a unique combination to happen, but over to him. But as an audience, I have already bought my ticket, if at all, and whenever it happens.
I think you must have read it, and it's out there. I was working on
Ravindra Kaushik.
Yeah, so I had that right at that point of time, and I had narrated it to him. But unfortunately for me, that right expired, and I did not renew it, so it ended there. But so that's the story on that. This was 4 years back.
But anything else that you have in mind? Because you are such a fantastic storyteller, even when it comes to like thrillers especially. Like, honestly speaking, there's like he said, that everybody has to have a different language. Only when you have a different language will people come to watch your movie knowing that this is directed by this person or written by this person, right? So you have a different language when it comes to thrillers, vis-a-vis all the movies that you've done. Is there anything that you have in mind already where you can maybe pitch it to him or maybe do something?
I mean, I would love to pitch it to him. Right now, because I was busy with this, I don't have any script right now. But I would, if I would love to pitch it to him.
Jate, because you're wearing it is a very stupid question that I'm going to ask, because of course I have to ask you some stupid questions also.
I don't expect anything.
Just shut up. You can't. I'm just taking it on me. That doesn't mean you will also be giving it to me like that. No, I'm quite intelligent. We intelligent interview किया कितना 20 minutes. I've done an intelligent interview.
अब अपनी औकात पे आ जाते हम दोनों, आ जा। अब ये सब तो हो चुका है। ये तो दुनिया को दिखा दिया कि हम लोग कितने सीरियस है।
Yeah.
पूछ बेटा
आप
पूछ.
मेरे को ये बताइए कि आपने यू नो आई विल आस्क इन टिपिकल वो जो ट्रेलर लॉन्च पे एक इंसान होता है जो ऐसे ऐसे क्वेश्चन पूछता ही है.
जो तू है
नो,
तो
I can't name that person, but whoever you will know from the voice and from the question. आप ये green color के कपड़े पहन के आ रहे हैं. You're actually, no matter what, you're actually a green rainforest when it comes to your relationship with Genelia, and so is she. English. So is she. What after so many years of marriage, okay, at a time when there are many things happening around, how do you keep the relationship fun, thriving, especially for a generation like us, which has somewhere lost that trust in romantic relationships and love in general?
see, love is a feeling that always needs to be rekindled, rejuvenated, relived, and with different phases of life. And I've said this before, but I'll repeat it again. When me and Genelia, we both met each other. She was all of 18. I was probably 24, 25. And there was certain new energy that two young people meet over. Then 10 years later, we got married. So being together was a new thing for us. Then we had kids. We had new experiences. Now 22 years. Whatever she has to know about me, I know. Whatever, she knows. Whatever I have to know about her, I know. There's no new information. So the only way for this to create is let's do things that she likes. And probably I don't. So there's a new experience. So every time you have to create experiences, things that we have never tried before, we'll do things with kids. So that's a new thing for us. So it's because we are not the same people that we were once we met. It's in process of evolution. We'll constantly change. जो भी बोलते हैं तुम तो वैसे नहीं थे जैसे तुम मुझे मिले थे. नहीं वो तो चला गया ना, उसको 10 साल हो गए. मैं वो नहीं हूँ जो 10 साल पहले था. मैं अलग हूँ, आप अलग है. Now I have to fall in love with the person that you are today and take this ahead for a few more years. So it's a process, and it's a beautiful process. Keep falling in love again and again and again.
When you talk about your kids, last time I had spoken to him and Genelia, she had cracked this joke that they were too young to understand. And whenever they used to see any of your heroines, they used to feel like, oh, do I have a new mother? Right? Is that Papa's girlfriend? Is that Baba's girlfriend? Right. So now they are growing up. They understand.
They understand that they are Papa's girlfriend.
But you've kept them away also in a very beautiful way, you know. The upbringing is so normal, exactly how your mom and dad actually brought you up, despite there were people who knew you guys also because of where you come from. Do you hold back to that kind of upbringing?
See, it's very important that we are part of kids' lives. Kids are not part of our lives. So that is very important distinction that's to be made. So today is their football match that we have to be part of. It is not कि मैं shooting पे आ रहा हूँ. Of course they'll come one of those days and feel, but their lives are important that we have to be part of. Sometimes many of us make mistakes where we want to make it part of our lives. No, they have their own life. They have the social life. They have to play sports, whatever. You have to stand there with every Sunday, every weekend, even this morning, 8 o'clock, Genelia and me with an umbrella, with 2 water bottles, we were sitting and watching the football match. Because that is what they have to do. So we have to be part of their lives. And there'll be certain time for 10, 12 years that they'll want you because you'll be the most special people in their lives. Post that will be their friends and girlfriends or whatever they choose in life. Then it's gone. So value this time that you have.
Finally, jate only one question that I'm going to ask you. There's a lot of your mom and dad in you, in the way you are as a human being towards others. And I genuinely, like there are very few people like you, Riteish, in the industry. And I genuinely mean it with all my heart. No matter how much you annoy me, but there are very, very few people like you who exist in this industry, which is usually, आज भी मैं किसी से बात कर रहा था तो बोल रहे थे कि यार बहुत मतलब की इंडस्ट्री है, जब तक आपका मतलब होता है तब तक आपसे बात करेंगे and then बात नहीं करेंगे. You've never been that person. I was telling them that in 2015, I was a nobody. I was the junior most person in DNA. And for you to say that meant a lot. And it's been 11 years, almost 10 years.
I just want to tell you, if you ever need a doctor in this city, if you ever need anyone, I'm just a phone call away.
I know that. But do you somewhere, today when you have achieved so much in life, your mom is there to see it, to live it, because you're playing a minister also, and I know how you are as a human being. Do you somewhere deep down in your heart miss your father, not having seen this side of you?
No, I don't think I have turned into a personality that he didn't think I would turn into.
So beautiful.
So it is not like what he saw me. He saw me as a plant, and that's the tree I was going to grow into. It's not like ये बीज का है फिर 4 साल बाद कुछ और ही पेड़ हो गया, ऐसा नहीं था वो. He knew exactly what I would be, and I'm sure if he was, I don't think I would miss that he should have seen this. That's not the part where I think whether I miss him or not. Of course, I miss him every day. That will be there for the rest of my life. But what excites me is that people around me don't let me miss him. So every day someone will tell me some stories of, how he helped me build a school, how he gave me a college, how he let me build my house, and this car is because of him. My son is educated because of him. Whatever, in whatever way he could touch people's lives, that has been great. So, but the greater storytelling is to tell your children what their grandfather was.
And I would end it by saying, मी तुझावर खूप प्रेम करतो. ठीक बोला मैंने? ठीक ही बोला ना? And all the best for Raid 2 and everything that both of you do. As a cinema lover, it's time that we all come together to support cinema in general. And judge films on the basis of good content and bad content and not be divisive. To two people who have never been divisive in their lives, all the best, and I wish you, like with all my heart, I hope and pray that this breaks all records, because unfortunately numbers become a huge validation. So those validation also should come your way along with all the love.
Are you going to watch it?
Of course I'm going to watch it.
When?
I'm going to pay and watch. I always pay for a ticket for people's movies who I love the most, even if I watch it at a press screening. That I would do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yay.